All right, guys. Mike Trudell and Joey Ramirez here to wrap up a draft night for the Lakers here. And Rob Pelinka just spoke to everybody, Joey, and really seemed to be excited about the two picks that they talked about. They seemed to both to fit into what they were looking for throughout the season. Magic Johnson, of course, emphasizing shooting. Both guys can shoot pretty well. And then just adding to that overall team character that we've seen from a lot of the Lakers' young guys over the past couple of years. What do you think stood out most with Pelinka and how he described Wagner first?
Yeah, with Wagner, it's a little interesting. He and Luke Walton both had a very similar view of him. High intelligence type of player coming from Michigan. He's also one of those guys that they really liked the way he was passing the ball here in these workouts and just on the tape and everything. And if you look at the numbers, he averaged less than 1 assist a game. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Lakers try to bring that passing talent that he has out of him and see that more in the numbers, because that's not something that's exactly showing up on the stat lines. And then, man, one of the things that stood out about the way that Pelinka was talking about Mo Wagner was telling a story about how when he had this workout here, Josh Hart and Kyle Kuzma were just elbowing him in Magic and texting them afterwards saying, hey, we like this guy. We'd like to play with that Mo guy. So we'll keep an eye on how he fits in with the rest of this young core.
That's true. Pelinka did note that, and he's been exchanging texts with Kuzma and Hart really throughout the playoffs. That was something that Hart said the other day when we sat down and talked, and then in addition, of course, about Wagner. Now, in terms of Mykhailiuk, so we know he can shoot.
First of all, we know that you can pronounce names because that was brilliant.
I mean, I looked at the pronunciation guide just to make sure I was on that. A lot of people will probably just call him Svi. But he really lit things up in terms of shooting at the workout. Now, it's not just the workout, of course. They watched him shoot the ball all season long at Kansas. Magic, though, once again, did mention, I want shooting on this team. He's got it, and he's got a little bit more to his game, as Rob has described as well.
Yeah, I mean, he led the Big 12 in three-point percentage. He was 10th nationally in three-pointers made, which was also a Kansas program record. And as we all know, Kansas has been around forever and excelling at basketball for forever. So those are two really big high benchmarks that he already set himself in college. Now, 47th overall pick, who knows exactly how much playing time he's going to get. We're going to probably see him in summer league, see how he fits in, and it'll probably be more tailored to him, fast-paced, more three-pointers, kind of just a more of a flow kind of in his mold. And he's definitely like a catch and shoot guy. But he's also a guy who he says that he has more to his game than just this elite shooting that he has. He's a former point guard. He feels that he has some wiggle with his dribble. He can set his guys up. I'm very curious to see what he brings to the table. And Mike, when you took a look at the way that the Lakers drafted tonight, an elite shooter in Svi and a stretch five in Mo, what does that say about the way that the Lakers are kind of building their team?
It's funny you ask, because I asked Rob in some ways a similar question about this to try to figure it out, because they have a pretty robust young core. Okay, we all know the players that they've taken for the last couple of years, not just the number 2 overall picks in Brandon Ingram or Lonzo Ball, but how about last season, getting Josh Hart, getting Kyle Kuzma on those cost-controlled contracts at the end of the first round. So I asked him, are you looking to basically add to that specific core, or do you just look for the best guys available? And I think that even before you saw how these young guys played together throughout this season, Magic Johnson still, again, same thing that he said after this season, I want more shooting. Now, it's not that they couldn't shoot at all. They got better as the season went on, but certainly shooting was one of the things that you had to think about. And, Joey, look, without mentioning any names, the Lakers are considering certain free agents, and depending on who comes in, the shooting can be there regardless. Like, that's something in today's modern NBA that Pelinka and Magic have been looking for, so they stayed pretty consistent about that.
Yeah, you know what, Mike? Rob said something interesting about the way that he's building this team. He kind of reiterated that they're going to go fishing for these big free agents, of course, but they're also very comfortable with running back this young core of players that are just getting into their development stage right now. Did we learn anything new about the way that the Lakers are building this team for the future?
Maybe the final thought on this, and I thought Rob Pelinka summarized it very well, is that the ideal situation for the Lakers is that they do both. So not only do you build a team that can win next year, but you have sustained success. And another way to put that is, don't just give up on all of the young guys in order to pursue certain things. You want to be able to have your cake and eat it too in that sense. And that's a focus, of course, towards the only goal here. And you can see in the background at all the trophies in Jeannie Buss's office here at the UCL Health Training Center. Championship. That's it. That's all Rob's thinking about. He said he's not going to rest until they get there. And that's basically the bottom line here for the Lakers right now.
Yeah. One more thing, Mike. Svi. He lettered in high school in both ping pong and soccer. I know you're a D1 soccer player. You once beat Kobe Bryant at ping pong. Can we set up something between you and Svi?
Be happy to play him. If you said that's part of his past specifically and it's on his bio, I think he's going to be the favorite. Right? Now, not many Ukrainian NBA players in the past, and I feel like Ukraine must have some kind of a robust ping pong system. Probably not as good as Pau Gasol. That's the best ping pong player that also is an NBA player that I've ever seen. So I'm glad you asked. Thank you.
Well, we'll have to ask him on Tuesday when he's in here for a little bit of talking with us in the media.
I'm sure you look forward to that. He's Joey. I'm Mike. Appreciate it, guys.